And thanks, Marisha just put the extra minus in here that I left out. I'm sure you noticed that that should have a minus, right? Because this is just same as mine. Okay, so here we were stuck in this clash of wills with regard to whether or not to make that long distance call. How in the world might me and my neighbor, coordinate our strategies so we can eliminate these two worst outcomes and maybe alternate hitting one of these two outcomes every time the power goes out? Well, one thing we might do is we might agree to the following agreement. I'll make the long distance call the next time the power goes out, and my neighbor will take it the time after that. Then I'll take it the time after that, and my neighbor will take it the time after that. And in the end, so long as we have an even number of power outages, we'll wind up equivalent. But what about that odd number? When the fifth power out happens and it's my turn to call. Now I am one more call in the hole than my neighbor is. I'm one more time here than he or she is here until the next power outage. Or perhaps we will agree that, say, I will make the call if the power outage happens on odd number days of the month, and my neighbor will make the call if the outage happens on even number days of the month. Or, because those are random. The outages are random. They don't occur on more likely on days of the month, particular odd or even number days of the month. But again, if we agree to this, notice that on months with odd number of days in them, months with 31 days, or that leap year February 29 days, I'm at a disadvantage here, right? And so would we agree to that coordination? How do you come up with a coordinated strategy that are going to eliminate these two disadvantageous outcomes and get you to fluctuate back and forth between these? And even more importantly, how do you get agents, once you've hit one of those coordinated strategies, to keep playing his or her part when he or she knows that by cheating, at least half the time, they're going. If they know that if I'm going to call, then they know that they're going to be able to sell. So you can see the kinds of circularity that starts happening when you start thinking about the clash of will and how in the world rational agents can solve it. Even with coordination, you've got to be able to trust those other rational agents not to move off that strategy and try to cheat. And without coordination, it's a shot in the dark. If you're both just flipping coins independently, a quarter of the time you're going to wind up here, a quarter of the time you're going to wind up here, but a quarter of the time you're going to wind up here, and a quarter of the time you're going to wind up here. How in the world do you do it? And notice that we just gave you an example of a real world situation that has the structure of a clash of wills. Keep